Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining me and thank you for your continued support. Second video today because Helen Whatley, who is the Shadow Secretary for the Department of Work and Pensions, she has been very busy, shall we say, in writing up amendments to the Universal Credit Bill as it is now. I was looking through some of the amendments, which you can do on the government website and which I will leave a link to down in the description to this video. You can look through and see what amendments have been put in so far. And I was reading through them and there are some really good amendments in there. For example, the ones I've talked about already, the amendment to make conditions that are fluctuating part of the severe condition situation they're going to put in there. That is obviously a good thing. There's other ones in there which talk about making sure that any future bill or legislation is appropriate for human rights and things like that. So those are all good amendments, but Helen Whatley has been putting in some amendments which they're not at all good. So I'm going to show you some of these and you can see what you think down in the comments section. So as I said before, there are some good amendments being put in. Kat Eccles is one of them. She's tabled an amendment to the welfare bill to end outsourcing to 5 profit-making private companies and require health assessment staff to be employed by the government. When 7 in 10 assessments go to mandatory consideration and later granted at the cost of the DWP, it's clear the current system isn't working. There are lots of ways to raise funds without taking money away from vulnerable people. Ask your MP to sign Amendment 37. But Helen Whatley has been very busy, shall we say. This is one amendment which she's put in. It's a regulation for the Social Security Personal Independence Payment Regulations 2013. Assessment of ability to carry out activities after paragraph 1. She wants them to insert a regulation which says C, which is client, is claimant, I should say, is however ineligible for an assessment if C's mental condition which has caused them to apply for an assessment is mild depression, anxiety or ADHD. Now I'm going to talk about this after I've shown you these, but yeah, so that's one amendment that she wants to be put into the new bill. And this is another one that she's been wanting to put into the bill. If you go down to number 4, it says the condition in this subsection is that the proposals laid before the House under section 3 include proposals to reduce entitlement to personal independence payment and limited capability for work-related activity element, and the LCW element of universal credit for those who qualify for these benefits is incapacity or disability deriving from less severe mental health conditions. Basically, what it means is lower the entitlement for people with mental health conditions. And here is another one that she's put in. The condition in this paragraph is that an assessment is not that the only descriptor or descriptors set out in Schedule 7 constantly apply to the claimant and will do so for the rest of the claimant's life. So apply as a result of the claimant being diagnosed with mild depression, anxiety or ADHD. Meaning, this amendment precludes a person being a severe conditions claimant solely by reference to lifelong diagnosis of mild depression, anxiety or ADHD, which means that those people cannot be part of the severe conditions claimants. Now I say this is just an amendment, it's not in, it's got to be voted on, but yeah, another one having a go at people with mental health. Right, so there you have it. First of all, I just want to apologise if my words are getting muddled or mixed up or whatever. It's one of those days where I just can't seem to say what I want to say, and it's about the 6th time I've tried to make this video, so bear with me. Right, so yeah, those are the things that Helen Whatley wants to put in place, and it's terrible because, you know, you could say, well, okay, yeah, but it's saying mild mental health conditions. Well, the trouble is with that, that's got to be assessed by the DWP. So it's how they deem something to be mild, but also it's including anxiety and ADHD, which a lot of people suffer from. A lot of people, or I would say most of the people who suffer from that, don't have mild symptoms; they have severe symptoms. And I just don't think it's right that she is trying to preclude all of these people with mental health conditions who do find it very, very difficult to get through day to day. I mean, you know, ADHD is not a condition that I would wish on anybody. It really isn't. It's a very difficult condition to live with. Anxiety, which I have personally myself, again, not something I would want other people to live with. And okay, mild depression. But how do you specify if something is mild depression or not? You're going to need to have doctors and specialists and consultants involved in that process. And even then, depression affects people in different ways. What you might call mild depression to someone is severe depression to someone else. So it's a very ambiguous thing that she's trying to put in here, and I really hope they get voted down. Let me know down in the comment section what you think. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I'll see you next time.